Alright, so Marcus Bansky here from Rise with Marcus. Today I'm talking about the difference between compound and isolation exercises, the pros and cons, differences between the two, and exactly what they are. Starting off with compound exercises. Compound exercise involves a multi-joint movement. This could be bench press, pull-ups, squats, deadlifts, anything that involves more than one joint. So with the bench press, we have the shoulder and elbow involved. With the squats, we've got our knees, hips, ankles, upper back, lower back. With the pull-ups, we again have our shoulder, our elbows, and the movements in our shoulder blades. And this is the opposite to a isolation exercise, which just has movement around one joint, one main joint. With a bicep curl, a tricep skull crusher, a deltoid raise, a fly or reverse fly, machine leg extensions, these types of things where you're moving just one part of your body. It can be a bit convoluted because with some isolation exercises, as an example, bicep curl, you might be holding the bar and you're using your wrist and your elbow, and then your shoulder is stabilizing, but the main movement revolves around our bicep doing the work. So the benefits to a compound movement are that in general, by using more muscle mass, you will tend to elicit a better hormonal response. So squats, deadlifts, bench press, shoulder press, pull-up, they will tend to make you feel more tired, but also as a result, you will sometimes see better adaptations. If you don't have any lagging body parts, no injury history, and have very good form, then compound exercise can be a very bang for your buck way to get good results. The issue with compound exercises, I mentioned slightly briefly, is that they're very fatiguing. So if you've had a hard day at work, you haven't eaten well, maybe your nutrition's a bit off that day, and you're trying to do a heavy set of squats or a heavy squat workout, it's going to be very difficult to work as heavy as you can because you're not going to feel like you've got as much motivation and oomph to get that set in. Compared to doing some leg extensions, yes, you will have to push hard, but the overall body load is slightly less, and you'll still be able to get a good local stimulus on that muscle to still get a good response. Another weakness of compound exercises is that by using our whole body, you will tend to use muscles that are already strong. Why would your body use the weakest link in a set of multi-joint movements? So if you have quite big arms, your body might adjust your form in such a way to manipulate using that stronger muscle. If you're doing squats and the muscles around your knees aren't as strong, your quads, you might end up using more of your lower back to do the movement, and vice versa. If you're very quad dominant, you might try and stay as upright as possible, and then you're not going to hit the muscles around your hips. One of the benefits of an isolation exercise is that you're able to isolate one particular muscle, and if it's lagging, bring it up to the same strength as another muscle. This is good if you want to also work on one particular body part. Say you want to get bigger arms. Yes, doing pull-ups and rows and other pulling exercises is going to help your biceps. But really, if you just want big arms, bust out those bicep curls, different variations, and you'll ensure that you're hitting the muscle you exactly want to. The downside is that it takes a lot of time. I didn't mention one of the other benefits of compound exercises is that you can save time. You do a couple of exercises, get out of the gym in 45 minutes. With isolation exercises, you need a bit more time and a little bit more commitment throughout the week to hit your full body and ensure that you're training your body evenly. You know, imagine having to do bicep curls and skull crushers and shoulder raises and ab work and lower back work and quads and then hamstrings and then calves, and you've barely done 3 sets on each exercise, 4 sets on each exercise, and you've spent 2 hours in there, compared to doing a couple of compound lifts, maybe touch up on a little bit of isolation exercises to hit some points that you don't normally hit, and then get out of the gym. Another downside to isolation exercises, again, you're not getting that full body hormonal response. There is an aspect of local stimulus when we train, which means that if I train my bicep, my body is going to be like, hey, I need to make this stronger, I need to make this bigger. But if I do biceps and then do a very compound movement, which tells all the signals in my body, all the hormones and receptors in my body, hey, we need to adapt to get stronger, sometimes you can see better results combining an isolation exercise with a compound exercise. There was actually a study done where one of the study groups got bigger arms by just squatting. And that illustrates how much of a stimulus squats can be, or large compound movements where we train the big muscles in our body for our body to be like, whoa, I need to adapt. Overall, of course, with isolation exercises, you're not getting that benefit. So I know it's been a little bit topsy-turvy. That covers exactly what compound and isolation exercises are, as well as a little bit of information about the pros and cons when you are asking me questions about training or informing your training decisions about what the changes you'd like in your program.